Firstly, Liam, what do you think of the decision to enter Team GB for the football element of the Olympics?
Yeah, I think it could be a good thing. Looking at the nations that are playing within Great Britain, I think that can be a good thing. It can unite the nations. There are arguments obviously for and against it, but I think in the long run, looking at it, I think it can be a good thing. Obviously, with all the nations supporting the team overall, I think, yeah, it can work.
You said there could be some negative things. What would you say to people who say that it may damage some nations' individual status?
Yeah, I can see where they're kind of coming from, but you've got to look at it as from the Olympics perspective. We're going into the Olympics as Great Britain, so you've got to think of it in that way. As Great Britain, we are supporting all the nations. You can't just pick out one individual nation. For example, if we did just enter an English team, I don't think that would work. You've got to look at it as Great Britain as a whole.
And what do you think the football team need to do to make Team GB work?
I think you've got to have a mixture, really. You've got the odd few experienced players in there. Obviously, you need to bring them youth players through as well, give them experience in the big tournaments, because obviously that's what's going to help them in the long run for development. If they're playing in big tournaments such as that, they'll take a lot from that, and with the experienced heads in there, they'll help them through as well.
You spoke of some different types of players you'd like to see in the team. What key players individually would you like to see make the squad?
One for example, Aaron Ramsey at the moment. He's doing really well for Arsenal. He's only a young lad. I think if he plays in that tournament, I think that could develop him as well. In the Scotland side, they've got a lot of youngsters coming through. Also with England as well, them types of players, they need these big tournaments to kind of develop themselves. They may not get them for the clubs that they're at the moment, so it could be really good for them.
You say, obviously players are going to be developed, and there's some good players that could potentially play for the team. If it does go ahead, which it looks like it's going to, what do you see Team GB's chances in the tournament are?
Yeah, I think they can do quite well. As a nation, as Great Britain, we've got a lot of talented players. A lot of youngsters coming through that could potentially play in this tournament. I think obviously with having them experienced players there as well, they could obviously influence the tournament as well. So, they'll have experience in big tournaments, so they could obviously pass that on to the youngsters, and that could give us a good chance of potentially getting a medal from it as well.
And just finally, would you like to see Team GB being carried into further tournaments, such as either just future Olympics or even, existing football tournaments like the World Cup and the Euros?
My honest opinion on that, I think it should just be kept for the Olympics. For tournaments such as the Euros, I think they predominantly, you just keep them nations. I would say we enter, obviously, like I've said, we enter the Olympics as Great Britain. Therefore, we should enter a football team as Great Britain. They wouldn't enter, obviously, individual teams. So I think they should just keep that to how it was. World Cups, just keep it, obviously, Wales, Scotland, England. And the same with Euros as well.
Red button, stop.